Wonderful. Okay, evening all. Just for those that I haven't met, my name's Andy Bevan. I'm head of the football development manager at Cheltenham, overseeing the development centres and the satellite centres that we have. And tonight's is about basically looking at and exploring the options for a potential under-18s programme next year for all our boys that are 16s and coming to the end of, say, the YDP stage. So I'll just get up the presentation to give you a bit of an idea on what we will be looking for next season. Can you all see that on your screens? If somebody could just give me a thumbs up, that would be wonderful.
Yep.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, so what we're looking at next season, obviously at Cheltenham before, what we've done is we've had an under-16s programme. From our under-16s programme in the academy, they've obviously gone on to scholarships. Those that haven't been offered scholarship have been offered into our BTEC programme at Cheltenham, and likewise our development programme get that opportunity to go into the BTEC programme as well. We also now run that in Hereford as well, as we can see on the screen, and we're also got a women's team that we're looking at getting into. So again, if anyone out there knows of any ladies or anybody that's boys that are looking at getting onto the program, then feel free to get in touch, because obviously the more that we can get onto these programs, the better it is for everyone. But for those that are also looking at potentially doing A-levels and don't want to do the BTEC sports, or not looking for a career in sport to come from the BTEC program, then we are now looking at the avenue, as I can on the left hand side of our screen, an under-18 side, and I'll come on to the reasons of why and where and what we've thought about doing this program. Okay, so we've got the Cheltenham, we've got the BTEC program in Cheltenham running 2 teams. We've got run in Hereford. Sorry, I've got somebody trying to admit. Let me just enter. We've got 1 in Hereford, 1 team. So 3 teams in overall in our BTEC programs. For those that are looking a little bit more along the lines of probably going and studying your A-levels, etc., our 18s program and our BTEC programs are still along the same guidelines that we run the academy. Okay, so we're looking towards our Northern Star to make it happen. We still use the same culture around what we're trying to do to persist with our safeguarding, learning and respect, and also the academy values that we still emphasize, that are how important they are. And we emphasize this right through our academy. In all my presentations will have down the left-hand side the WISER, which to me is the non-negotiables that I talk about. So your work ethic and integrity, to me, they're non-negotiables in life. Solutions around problems, which I think are hugely important. And the bottom 2 is a responsibility and also enjoyment, because if we don't have the enjoyment, then none of us want to be doing it. What is the BTEC program? What is it for? So for those that may be looking at our BTEC programs, is for late developers. And I will touch on some of this later, but obviously tonight is more about an under-18s program next season for lads that don't want to go down the college route. If you are interested in our BTEC program, then, you know, we've got plenty of presentations on that about what we're trying to do and does it work. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, it's not about this, it's about that. Trust me, it's a program that gets you to play at a different level and also gets you into sport. And I'll touch on a couple of examples, that are actually players from last year's course are now actually coaching for us within our development centre, which we think is a massive pathway. And there's so many career options from the college program. So again, those are the different little routes that we look to get the program into work. But basically what the under-18s team 2023-24 season is about. So we look at, first of all, was the Newent decision. So I was worked in semi-pro football as well, and we're still going to be doing those routes, still pathways into there. But the Newent decision, for me to pull away from that, we wanted to look at a place where we could send our players. The big argument for me is that our lads that aren't going to make it into the program, and we know there's probably only 1 in so many get through to it, and even them are looking to actually, can they get into semi-pro football? Well, that's gone rather quickly. Sorry about that. I tried to admit somebody and it's moved on to where we're going. So what we're trying to do is we want to get our boys playing in the men's football pyramid by the age of, as soon as they're 16, can we dip their feet into it? So the options around under-18s football is you can play on a Saturday under-18s. There's the MJPL, there's the Junior Premier League that do under-18s football. To me, I feel if they're under-18s, they should be playing men's football pyramid on a Saturday. And I will just touch on what the men's football pyramid is. So if you look at, obviously, Cheltenham, we're a professional club, so we're not in the football pyramid. You come to non-league, you've got your conference, which is the first step one of the football pyramid. Step two is conference north and south, which is obviously your Hereford, your Bath City. Step three would be your Merthyr Tydfil. Step four around Cheltenham Way would be your Cinderfords. Step five would be in Hereford, certainly is Westfields, Pegasus, Malvern, those sorts of teams. Step six would be your Newent Towns. Step seven would be, again, Herefordshire Prem, and we could go on. But my thinking around it, and the club's agreeing with us on this, that we want to try and get boys into men's football at 17, 18. So we want to keep their Saturdays free from under 18 football to try and get them into men's football. That's the objective, and that's the plan. How do we do that? Okay, so this was the idea with our under 18s program. So can we get them into under 18s football at the moment? And I'm well aware some of our boys are probably already playing for local clubs in Cheltenham, and that's absolutely fine. We're not saying you've got to come with us. This is just an option. This is an option we're putting out there because I believe, and the club believe as well, that we want to give our boys at 16s, when they come to the end of YDP stage, give them an option to carry their pathway through. We want a pathway from under sevens right the way through to men's football if we can. So the reason behind what we were thinking, sorry, somebody else is jumping on, I'm just going to admit them. So the reason we were thinking and why we've chosen Hereford is we've got to find a team that's midweek that can host us as an under 18 team. Because like I said, I don't want us playing on a Saturday under 18s. I want us to dip into men's football with our connections around that. So we looked at Hereford because it's a facility I know that I've used before, and I'll touch on that facility in a minute because I think they've also got avenues into the men's football pyramid as well, but they haven't got an under 18s team, so it works perfect. Again, this was an option that we were looking at Newent Town because they didn't have an under 18s, and it was situated between the two. But unfortunately, my time there came to an end because I just didn't think it was the right environment to put our younger players in. And to me, that's more important than anything. So if I go on to just show you a little bit about Hinton. So Hinton Football Club is a team in Hereford. They play in the Herefordshire Prem. They used to play in the West Midland Banks Brewery, which was step 6, step 5 standard. As I've said, we've just gone on to that. So it needs to be the facilities to play in the under 18 Floodlit League that we want to go into, the Cheltenham Floodlit League. It needs to have decent step 5 facilities. Hinton has that, which I will show. As you can see from Cheltenham, from the training ground, is it exactly an hour and 8 minutes? That's an hour and 8 minutes, 45 miles from door to door. Obviously, some of you live closer, etc. And I will touch on, don't worry thinking, oh, we're just covering for the Hereford side. My role is overseeing both, and we're trying to find the best options for it all. So this is Hinton Football Club. Okay, so that's the current facility. That's the front of it onto the back of the pitch, and this is the back entrance as you come into the car park with the changing rooms. You go through there, and I've been there when I worked for Hereford. We went there as a first team. We played them in a cup match. So you pull into the car park there, and the pitch is on your left hand side. This is the pitch on the bottom right. Okay, that's the pitch. Those are the dugout areas. But this is planning for the whole new facility they've got there. And obviously, we've been speaking with the club about the hiring of it next season and possibly linking with the football club as well. And this does actually, they've got planning for this, and this has been approved. So this will be taking course over a period of time that we will be with them as well. I'm just going to stop share it because I can actually, if I can, share some footage. Don't know if this is going to work, so please bear with me on this one. I'll try that one. Highlights YouTube. Can we see the YouTube on that?
Yes, mate.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Yes, we can.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys. Okay, so this was our under 18s 2 years ago. When we first left Hereford, we had an under 16 side, and we put some of them into this under 18 league. And now one of those players is actually on Hereford's books. I did co-commentary at the weekend on the Hereford FC game, and he's actually in the squad for Hereford. Oh. So I'm going to turn myself down there. Sorry, because obviously you can hear the coaches shouting in the background. So this is the facility. And as you can see, decent standard. There's the clubhouse that I was talking about. There's the car park in behind. It will show, obviously, the game was filmed. Sorry, just going to admit somebody else is going on. I'll try to admit them. Sorry, guys, it's not letting me admit the person. Here we go. Okay, so that and that's the other end, obviously, with the trees in the background, the area that we're in. And as you can see, I just wanted to share that because I think it is quite important that you get a feel of what the place is like. It's a decent standard. It's a decent setup. This was probably in the November sort of time. Okay, so we've shared that. We'll now go back to the presentation. Share screen. Are we back to the presentation?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay.
Yes,
So
mate.
thank you very much. So that gives you an idea, guys, of where, you know, and listen, all our under-18s games will be filmed, as well as obviously our college games, but we will film our under-18s games as well. And obviously, you know, we edit and clip these videos as well. That's the Cheltenham Youth League that will be entering. And this is where I'll touch on now why we've got the pitch in Hereford. Like I said, we chose the pitch in Hereford because, A, we needed a team that had an under-18 facility that weren't in this league already. So how I looked at it when we're talking about and speaking with Ian and Lee about this and about the possibility of merging the two under-16 teams next year, as we both know, or all of us know, that, you know, both of them are doing very well in the JPL. Now, I know they play for other clubs, etc. Now, how I see the mix working is we've got the pitch in Hereford, so that's great. That's our home venues. So for the boys that live in Hereford, their home pitch is on their doorstep, although not many of our boys live in Hereford. I actually live 15 miles outside Hereford as well, towards Monmouth. So their home pitch will be Hereford. They then have to travel away to these places. For you guys that live in Cheltenham, your home game will be the one in Cheltenham. Your away games will be our home venue in Hereford, if that kind of makes sense. Because obviously in Cheltenham, we've got the Bishop's Cleeve, you've got Shortwood, Hereford Pegasus, obviously a Hereford team. Then you've got Longleven, Saracens, Lydney, Tuffley, Malvern, Cinderford. So there's obviously a lot of teams in Cheltenham. So this is where we're thinking that it would kind of work because of the two clubs going back and forth towards each other. And again, like I say, if you play for these teams, we're not coming to you and saying, look, you've got to leave and come to us. We're going to have plenty of opportunities and plenty of players. So, you know, if you want to stay with your hometown club, then that's absolutely fine. No problem at all. What we're trying to do as a football club is put the option out there for you guys. What I will do is I will share in the group chat at the end of this an expression of interest. Okay, so if we go into this route, what the idea is, there's our Cheltenham Youth League. So if you're interested in it, if you're interested in the under-19s program or into the men's football pyramid, because what we'll tend to do, and we've done it this season with four boys, I think, from the Hereford 16s, from when I was working at Newent Town, we've actually got them into the Step 6 and the Step 7 side. So they've actually come and played for me, because the minute they turn 16, we can dip them into men's football. And that's what we've done. We've drip fed them in. Obviously, we don't start them. We bring them in, get them some minutes, just so they experience it. So if you're interested in that pathway, then please feel free to tick the boxes. Likewise, for example, if it's Alex and you want to say, no, I'm not interested, then just put a no to all three columns. Listen, guys, it's absolutely fine. You're not going to offend anyone. We're just trying to, as Cheltenham Town, give you an opportunity out there that possibly something can continue from what we develop, rather than ending at YDP and then, right, go off and find yourself a program. We want to try and do something right the way through. This is more for the college program in Hereford, so I'll just skip through this because this is for boys that are interested in it. Let's go. And just on that, guys, for ones that are thinking of the 19s program in Cheltenham or in Hereford, these are roles and jobs that have come from lads that have gone on to the coaching course, the BTEC prop course in Hereford. And I'm sure it's the same in Cheltenham, probably even greater, because in Cheltenham, obviously, they've been running the program a lot longer. Just run through that because this was already up. This is through our Herefordshire program. Again, this gives you an idea of the teams they play in the EFL, which I'm sure majority of you are all well aware of the teams they play in it. And if not, like I said, please get in touch. We have done a presentation on this. It is on our YouTube channel, and I'd be willing to share that with you. Regarding the under-18s, what we will do is the same as we deal with in the academy. So we will do the ILPs. We will work a lot around KPIs, trying to get the players around the mentality of what it's like to go into the men's game. Typical ILP there is from the under-19s player, last season's captain. Okay, the player that we can compare him to, and this is the same sort of thing that we've had within the development centres all the way through. Again, there's another player that's the current skipper in Hereford, just to give you an idea. Again, we get the voted for this, and this is Teamer. I know a lot of you have been introduced to Teamer this season. I know there's been some teething problems around it. It's something we've used all along because we want the players to vote for the man of matches in terms so we can see what the players are thinking and if they're seeing the same, engaging the same as what our coaches are thinking. Okay, so these are the KPIs that we work to, and we're going to work with these with the under-18s in our football because I've worked with these in the semi-pro game, you know, about key performance indicators around to be the best that you can be. We've drip fed them in, and I know James is on my, James is the YDP lead in Hereford. Evening, James.
Evening, mate. You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you. Guys, and James oversees our 13s to 16s in Hereford. And again, I know James has used these this season for the first time. I'm going to call you into this, James, sorry. Just a couple of seconds, mate. How have you found them? Obviously been completely new for you using this season.
No, it's been great. The lads have really bought into it. So we pin them up on the dressing room prior to every game, dressing room wall, and they can see it's actually a good snapshot of where we're performing. It can form basis of the team talks in terms of, right, okay, this is what we achieved last week. Let's look to achieve this week. And it just shows for us as well, as a coaching staff, it shows, okay, well, maybe we're not hitting shots on target percentage, right? Well, let's look at that as a training session or an objective in terms of pressing. So no, they've really bought into it, and it helps the lads focus on our way of playing. So yeah, been a success really.
Brilliant. And guys, it's like if you look at these are stats that you know your top players in the Premier League will learn. I learned a lot of this when I was doing my A license. And so elite accuracy, this is what Harry Kane or Rashford would use. He'd like to have 4 shots per game, 3 strikes on goal. One of them should equal a goal. And I'll touch on what that is. And you look at the accuracy down here below. We trialed this in with our college program in Hereford last year. And so this was a perfect example. Okay, I'll just use the Bristol Rovers game here. So we would class the shots inside the penalty box. We had 3 out of 7 on target, 3 out of 9 outside. So overall 6 out of 16, which was a 38% accuracy, which obviously was quite poor. And this is where we try and then gauge it where we're going to go. So when we played our opposition, they would be way ahead of us because this was our first season in it. If we look at the snapshot at the bottom, from 12 games, we had 55 out of 94 shots on target, 24 out of 61 outside the box. Straight away, you start to think, and this is where we try and get into the players' mindset of how they're thinking is, you know, obviously, when we can get into that green zone, zone 14, the little areas inside where all 75%, 85% of goals are scored, those are the areas we want to get. So in total, we had 79 out of 155 shots on target in 12 games, which was a 51% accuracy. And if you remember, I said we look at 3 shots on target should equal a goal. We were, gone back one. We were running at 79 shots on target, which was that figure there. We scored 30 goals. So it meant we were 2.64 shots on target equal to goal. So it shows that it kind of works, those kind of stats. If you went to the start there, we were at a 30 shots on target, we'd scored 10 goals, so it was every 3. So we got better as the season got on. But as you can see, at one stage, we were 2.17, and then as the season came towards the end, we ended up on 2.64. But again, these are little gauges, so as we can kind of try and develop the players individually. So for example, this is the under-19s again, and this was my striker. So Hubert had played 11 games for us last season. So in the penalty box, he had 14 out of 20 on target, 1 out of 5 outside the box. So in total, 14 out of 25, he had a 56% accuracy. If you remember, we talked, we wanted to get 60%. What we looked at then for Hubert would have been, okay, he was our top scorer on 7 goals. Okay, sorry, somebody's just trying to be admitted. He was our top scorer on 7 goals out of 14 shots on target, meant that every 2 shots that he had was a goal. And again, that gives you an idea around what we're trying to do, just to try and get the mindset with the players. We use it on saves as well. So we looked at our keepers and we looked at our keepers, and what we were trying to do was get them up to the 70% ratio. Again, what an elite goalkeeper should try and do. And again, our boys will say, yeah, but I'm not Harry Kane. I'm not Marcus Rashford. I'm not an elite striker. No, but you're not playing against Virgil van Dijk and etc. So you're playing against players of your similar level. So we think those are benchmarks that we can hit. Guys, that's the majority of what we've done. Those are just the player matrices that we use. Again, what we're trying to do is get those players that started last season when they come into the program. Out of the 16 players on the college program, not one of them have played men's football. By the end of it, we got a pathway through from step 7, step 8 to step 6 and 7. We had got 11 out of the 16 playing into men's football. And now into that second season, we've got one lad, Nathan, there is playing in America. He got an American scholarship going through our college program. But also, we've now managed to get more players through into the football pyramid, again, which is that transition that we so want to see from our boys at 16 through 8 to 18s through to the football pyramid. Again, these are just stuff that we do in training. We film the training sessions as well around the college program that we do. But I think this is the majority of it. Yeah. Okay. I think that is the majority that you guys need to see. I don't think there's anything else. Again, like I said, the college program runs with the American scholarship route. Again, there's Nathan, who's now in Mississippi, in Iowa. Again, having a wonderful time. Yeah, this is what I was touching on earlier, that coaches that have come on the college course have come back into the program. And listen, if you want to get into coaching, whether you come on our college course or not, but you're interested, you want to get into coaching. So we got Connor on the left there. He's now coaching in our development center in Hereford. James is also coaching in our development center while still playing for our under-8, under-19s Hereford program. And to be honest, you don't have to be on the program to do that. So if you're interested in it, you want to come coaching, you want to get into it, you want to do refereeing courses, you want to do UFA coaching badges, please get in touch with us at the football club, because, you know, we do want to help. We do much prefer, no disrespect to us coaches, they want to see their peers coming back into it, their older players, somebody more their own age than somebody our age, whilst working alongside us, mentoring them through it. So that's the majority of the presentation, guys. I will see if there is any questions of anyone. Please unmute yourself if you've got any questions. I think, what's the time? We've got time, haven't we? Yep, we're okay. We've got 5 minutes, guys. So if there are any questions that you want to ask, then please feel free to do so.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
Hi, mate. If you just want to, sorry, I can't see it. If you just want to introduce yourself and if you've got a question, far away, or if you don't want to introduce yourself, that's fine as well. Just fire a question away and I'll see if I can answer it the best I can.
My name is Hamza Bashlawi.
Good evening.
I'm wondering with you know how that player got to play for Mississippi, is that the one in America?
Yeah.
How did you get contacts together for him to go over to America? If you know what I mean.
Through us at Cheltenham Town. So if you want to contact me directly, so after this, if you want to send me a message on WhatsApp or email, then feel free to do so. How we get the contacts, they come into the schools and they deliver presentations. We film the footage for the players because the players need footage, so as they need to get certain marks and listen, there's a number of universities out there, so they gauge from being a top player in our academy, have gone out there, through to being struggled to get in our development centers. So there are gauges all the way around it, and we have those links and those connections towards that. So feel free afterwards to contact me and I can give you those links to it. There's also, I will put in the group chat afterwards, there's a YouTube video that I did with Nathan. So the lad that was in Iowa, he came home at Christmas and I did a probably about 4 or 5 minute interview with him, asking the questions that a parent would want to know. We know the players want to go out there and live in America and play football, but as a parent, you want to know, are they safe? What are they eating? Are they getting an education? Are they developing as we want them to do? So I asked Nathan those questions, and I'll send the link to that in this group afterwards, if that's okay.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions, guys? No, we're all good. I'm sure you've got some somewhere. Listen, and I understand you probably don't want to ask him on here or something, and that's absolutely fine. But listen, feel free to, after this has ended, to contact me and ask me any questions on the group chat. Listen, to me, I always think no question is a bad question. So any question is open to it. And if I can answer it, I will. I will answer it the honest way and the best way I know possible, and try and do it. Sorry.
Hello,
Hello.
I've got a question.
Brilliant.
My name's Amarian Harrison, and I was wondering what's the percentage of making it into this program out of all of the players who've made it?
So when you say, so Amari, so did you, when you say make it out of this program, out of what, the college program into the pro game, or out of the college program into the...
Yeah, into the pro game.
Okay, I'll be brutally honest with you, Amari. It is very, very few. But when we started this program at Cheltenham, I've worked for Cheltenham on and off now since 2012. So just over 10 years. So I was around when we first did this program, and I was actually working at the academy doing the 16s then. And through that time, we have had players go into the pro game. There's a player at the moment playing in the pro game that has been through this program. So when we went to offer a scholarship through the academy, we didn't think he was quite ready. So he did the college program. After the college program, he got opportunities to play for our academy youth team. And he had those games. And then at the end of the 2 years of the college program, he got offered a pro deal. And he's now still a pro playing for Bristol City at the moment. So it does work. It can work. Again, all we can do is we can provide the opportunities. Like we said, the BTEC program, college program, predominantly is for late developers. So those types of players that haven't been seen before, may not have had that opportunity before. Suddenly they get eyes over us. So you're trained 3 times a week and play against other pro clubs, college teams, other pro clubs, BTEC programs. So they play them in the EFL. So listen, again, Amari, by all means, give me a shout afterwards and I can certainly give you more details around that.
Okay, thank you. I look forward to meeting you one day.
No problem, mate. That's absolutely fine. No problem at all.
Thanks.
Any other questions, guys? I think I've got one in the chat. How would you proceed to getting into the under-19s program and further details? Okay, just answering the questions that are on there. Yes, I will send the link into the under-19s program. And how do you get into it? Again, like I say, please feel free. We're doing open trials at the Cheltenham. So if you're from Cheltenham and you want to go to the college program there, it's run out of All Saints. It's run by Callum Wands, who works for Cheltenham Town Football Club as well. We're actually doing a presentation next Monday the 20th at All Saints. So if anyone is interested and wants to come on to that presentation, we're doing 10 till 12 is the boys and 12 till 2 is the ladies teams. So if you're interested in that, that's Monday the 20th February. Please get in touch with us on that. James, as you're on here, mate, is there anything that I'm missing that you can think of? And listen, feel free to say any questions that you think somebody may ask as a parent that, you know, about an under 18 or the program.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course it's okay. Fire away.
So you see with the development team for Cheltenham.
Yeah.
Is it like what's like the odds of them getting a scholarship for like the academy?
Okay, so to get a scholarship, you've got to be in the academy under 16s. So if you're in the academy under 16s, you get a chance of them being a chance to get a scholarship. To be in the development program, if you're 16 and you're in the development program and haven't gone through to the academy, you won't get a scholarship program then. That said, like I just said to Amari and the other one, we take players on the BTEC program that have gone on and made it. There was another lad, local lad to Cheltenham, that got offered, went into the BTEC program, and after 2 years of impressing in the college program, he then went into the youth team and he got a Pro D as well. So the opportunities there, it's like I say to anyone, we can open doors. It is down to the players whether you take them and that opportunity comes around. And listen, never give up on the dream. Never give up on the dream. I never thought I'd be working full-time in football. My daily job is a farmer. That's what I live on a farm. I still live on a farm now. Still got farm work. And so, but I'm working full-time. Exactly. Thank you. So, you know, it does work. It generally does work. But like I said, we open the doors. It's up to you if you want to take them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. James, anything you can think of, mate, that I've not possibly covered?
No, I think you've covered it all, mate. I think the key thing from from everyone's point of view is when we did this with the 16s in Herefordshire. I think it's massively important you reply to that expressions of interest and get your expressions out there as soon as possible. That'll help us gauge the interest and help us gauge whether it's viable or not, because obviously talks are continuing behind the scenes in terms of next season.
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I think that is massively important. And I think it's a bit like the teamer guys when we put teamer out and then we keep saying, can you reply to it? Can you reply? And listen, I understand if you're unsure. If you're unsure, just put unsure on there because it's an expression of interest. So ideally we want yeses or nos, but if you're unsure, just put unsure. To me, it's like I say to anyone, please just reply to it because it shows that you have listened to it. Because we may not know, so we may hammer on to you. Oh, please reply. Can you let this know? Can you let us know? It gives us an idea. At the end of the day, we have to enter a team into the league. Obviously, playing under 18s football costs quite a bit of money to run the program because we have to hire a facility, like I showed you, a step 5, step 6 pitch, which comes between 90 and 110 pound a time. You need 3 officials for match days, which we're lucky to get 1 at the moment, but you've got to have 3 to play in the under 18s league. Again, that comes in and around 80 or 90 pound. And then if you cover staff costs as well, you could be looking at 240, 250 pound to host a game. We do want to run the program. We want to give an opportunity for players that have played in Cheltenham Development Centre, Cheltenham Academy that haven't got a scholarship. So can they go into represent Cheltenham Town in the under 18s youth league? And that's what we're trying to do. So we do want to run it. The club have backed us on this. So, but we do need, yes or no's, expression of interest, if you could answer that. And I will put it in the group chat. And again, like I said, I'll put it in the group chat, the YouTube with the American lad, Nathan, the expression of interest. And I will, hopefully this has recorded and I will put it out there as well. If there's, is there any more questions before I stop, guys?
I don't think so.
I have a question.
Fire away.
My name is Roman. I am from Ukraine, and I am interested about development team. After they finish the season, what will be the next? They will have a rest for a couple of months, or you will have some camps over there?
Yes, they will probably have some camps over the summer period. So when we finish in May, they probably take 4 weeks out, but recruitment starts almost straight away. It doesn't stop. To be honest, when the season finishes in May, that's probably, we're starting next season now in March and April, planning and prepping, and that will continue through June and July. So there will be off-season programs, etc. So, like I said, Roman, feel free to get in touch and we will give you the contacts to get onto the development program ASAP. Like I said, we've got one next Monday at All Saints in Cheltenham. And again, I can put you in touch with Callum, who will get directly in touch with you about those if you're interested in those details.
Okay, I will call for you or somebody who you will give number, and I will talk. No problem. Okay, thank you.
No problem at all, Roman. No problem at all. Thank you all very much for taking the time tonight. I'm sorry training was off tonight. I think there wasn't many available, and then Lee and Ian weren't available. But thank you so much. Listen, continue having a great season. And like I said, any questions you got, guys, please ask me. I can't answer it if I don't know it. And it'll always be an honest answer. It might be the one you want, but it'll be an honest one of where I think we're at. James, thank you for co-hosting with me, mate. Appreciate it.
No worries, pal.
And actually, James is off on another Zoom now. So what James is going to do, James actually heads up our 15s in Hereford as well as being the lead YDP. We filmed their game at the weekend through the VO, which we got through sponsorship. And he is now going to analyse that a bit like, so listen, don't tune into the Monday Night Football on Sky. James will be hosting his. And again, we do it because we want the players to see, where they've gone wrong, where we think they've gone wrong. Have they recognised it? Have we recognised it? And we try and collaborate that and to move them forward. Gives them a great idea about doing analysis work as well. Again, another avenue down the road. But guys, I'll stop talking because I'm going to run out of time. But thank you once again for listening to it. And again, any questions, feel free to get in touch. Thank you, guys.